Boy, that's very blurry. That's weird. It's oh, look at that. Part of the light. Well, okay. So tonight's going to be kind of a weird one. How's it going, guys? I wiped out my extra 300 on Memorial Day, and it's really bumming me out this week because I really love this plane, and I was flying really well. I was having a good time. I was enjoying myself. I had flown for like 4 hours, and I was down to my last couple batteries, and I'm like, I'm gonna run all these batteries, and then I got this new pack because the previous day I had come to realize that I had actually probably a lot of my batteries, I guess, probably weren't stored the right way over the wintertime. And so I bought a brand new 4-cell. This is actually the right battery that you're supposed to run with this. I was running a much larger 3800 4-cell. And so I kind of ran out of runtime and dead sticked it in the air about 30 feet up. And I could feel it starting to die. And I'm like, oh, crap. And then so I was trying to bring it around and bring it into the wind to land. And I just straight up ran out of battery. So down it went nose first, right into the pavement runway, right into the asphalt runway. So tonight I'm going to be seeing how bad the damage is. I honestly don't have much else to do. My two-wheel drive car is ready for this weekend's racing. My 8 scales are all done and ready for regionals, because that's probably the next time we'll get to go out and race. Hopefully the end of this month. My crawlers are all really good. Even my drag car, got my DR10 out the other day and actually finally got a chance to run some passes on a little nice smooth area of street without any cracks or anything. And I learned a lot just from doing that. So I'm going to have to gear it up a little bit more and get some new tires. Hopefully J Concepts gets me a Firebird body pretty quick and do that. Jackson, the Nitro Regionals are in Kansas City, Missouri, June 25th through the 27th. So it's a Friday practice, Saturday qualifying, Sunday mains. And just put in my my tire order from J Concepts, and still have a bunch of tires left over from our first 8 scale incursion a couple weeks ago. So I should be sitting really pretty for that as far as tires go. So yeah, dude, I was Jackson, I think we just go to it. I don't think they're going to worry about signups. Baker's on here. He says 300 extras are awesome. Big stall. And yeah, what happened with mine was just me being stupid. I either ignored the timer on my radio or it never actually went off. So I'm not sure. Probably ignored it because I know I was having a lot of fun because I was practicing learning how to do a blender. And yeah. Oh, well. To be honest with you, this is really only the second plane I've ever crashed, and I've been flying now for 3 years. The first plane I crashed was a freebie, and so I kind of didn't feel bad about it. This one I feel bad about. My guess is that probably I'm gonna have to. I'll probably just end up getting a new one. I was thinking maybe a fuselage, but I'm looking at the plane now and I'm thinking to myself, yeah. The good news is because I work at a hobby store, Horizon does do this this deal with basically like employee pricing, they call it. So I should be able to get another one cheap, relatively speaking. And I was actually looking for another plane, and kind of I was, man, there's a, I've always wanted a flex jet, and there's a couple other ones that that I kind of had my eye on, but I love the way this flies, and I've always wanted a true like aerobatic plane. That's why I have an Ultimate. I have an Ultimate too as well that I fly, and I really enjoy that one. Actually, that's really not that bad. I think I just bent the motor mount. Boy, if I can get away with just bending the or just getting a new motor mount, I'll be so happy. I was expecting to see this all smashed up. What am I missing here? Jackson thinks that he can go to regionals, which is great. John Haas, tell me when and where for the drag race fair. So there's two places that I was thinking about organizing a buddy race. And one is at my sister's podcast studio. They have this really nice parking lot. It's brand new. That would be a pretty dialed place to have a drag race. And then the other place is 132nd and State, right behind that new junior high. My video, my vacation video, that opening sequence with my DR10 doing the power slides, that's where we did that at. It's flat and it's smooth and it's brand new. And I think all we have to do is just take one of the blowers and blow all the sand and stuff off of it. That's also the same area where I tested the Outcast for the house jump. Same kind of place. Oh man, that one screw is in there really good. And I don't have a very good screwdriver. I bought one of those Tamiya screwdrivers a while back, and now I can't find it. I think my kiddo might have taken it. Let's check my drawer, shall we? Come on. Oh, there's one. Screwdriver. Cole is on here. Eli, the Web Bros are on here. Jake is on here. John Haas is here. Tom Baker's on. We got 17 people, it looks like, which is great. Oh, there we go. So you got a good turnout tonight so far for HobbyPlex After Hours. You guys notice that I never turn on the ads for our live streams, because about that there. However, if you ever want to drop a super chat, go ahead. Anyways, back to what I'm doing. Dude, I seriously think that this is just a motor mount. I think I just bent the motor mount because the rest of it doesn't really look that bad. There is some warping in the back. I'll show you guys here in a second, which I still might have to get a fuselage then, or a whole new plane. Kind of an interesting thing to work on tonight, because I really honestly don't really, I don't really touch my planes all that often. My my Ultimate 2 has had like a unbalanced prop for like 2 years, and I've never messed with it. Oh yeah, look at that. See if I can show you guys what's going on here. Steve asks, was wondering RC planes today compared to the 80s. Remember back in the 80s, people were building them with balsa and you had to cover them. Are they more RTF now? I mean, yeah. So, what you see here, honestly, you don't see a whole lot of balsa stuff sold on a mass level anymore because your foam planes are so tough. So look at this front end. This is crazy. So I nosed this thing in like hard. It was dead, and I had control of it, and then the battery just I ran the battery completely down, right? And so there was no way to recover for it. So I lost all control of it, and that thing just went like this and went straight into the concrete. And look at the fuselage up there. I mean, that is tough. That is really, really tough. And I was actually afraid that this right here would be broken, and it's not. It's actually still solid. The cowl took a beating, so you can see here. I'll probably get a cowl because they're cheap, but you can see that the cowl did it did compress a little bit when it hit, obviously. So I'm definitely gonna get one of these from the store. I'll just put it on our next Horizon order, and and then this right here. So look at that. So that's actually all that happened was actually bent. So I'm gonna have the store order me up a new one of these and a new cowl. I think the motor itself hopefully is good. I might even we might even plug it in real fast, and although I don't have my radio, darn it. Yeah. Anyways, to keep answering Steve's question, so from what I've seen at the store, the foam stuff has definitely taken over most of the sales. You still see balsa kits sold every once in a while. There's a lot of people out there that just like to build the planes. I know a couple guys that like to build them and not even fly them. They let other people fly them, or they sell them off, or they just collect them. There's a few, a lot of the larger aircraft, especially the gas stuff, still has to be balsa. So the Hangar 9 brand, a lot of the bigger planes, a lot of the 30cc size gas planes and stuff like that, all that stuff's still balsa. But a majority, I'd say, of what we sell is going to be like this. Any of your like 1 meter planes, they go from anywhere from 70 millimeter jets up to 1.2 to 1.5 size foam wingspan. So yeah. But they're so resilient now. So if this were a balsa plane, right, there'd be nothing left of what I did. I mean, I had to be at least 30 feet up there when I lost it. And again, if this were a balsa plane, there'd be nothing left. I did break off the wing, so I'll show you guys that. But I think I should be able to glue that back and put some toothpicks in there and glue it back together, and then reinforce it with some tape. And I bet you it'll fly just fine. If I need a set of wings, I'm actually okay with that too. And then the only other thing that I'm a little worried about, maybe not. So look at this. So if you guys can see this crease right here. So when it slammed the ground, obviously it had a lot of momentum and stuff. And so Now I'm thinking, just after touching that, maybe I'll need a fuselage anyways. And if that's the case, I might just, I don't know. That's going to be tough. It's definitely squishy. Maybe I'll try to fly it after I fix it, and then if it doesn't fly right, then maybe I'll snag the electronics out of it and grab a plug and play or something like that, or even I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. If that's a majority of what's wrong right there, I'm really happy right now, because I thought for sure this would be a mess. I mean, I was positive that was going to be crushed the way I saw this motor off to the side. But I think getting away with just a front cowl and a front motor mount, and then tape that wing back up, make sure that all the servos work, of course, and if hopefully the motor didn't get damaged in any way, it still feels free. I'll probably get a new prop too while I'm at it, and I'll probably get a new nose cone too. So actually, this is not bad at all, guys. I'm actually feeling a lot better about this now than I was earlier. My heart just sank because I was having such a good time. And the other funny thing is that when you're at the Omahawks, there's a lot of people there that aren't flying. They're just watching. And so if you crash or put yours in a tree or something like that, suddenly the whole club will know about it within a day or so. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, well, with that, I'm gonna set it off to the side and call it good for now. I need to get the parts. So RC Bros has started to fly last year and on a foam cub, crashed it first try, but now has got a turbo timber. And yeah, turbo timbers are really nice planes. I was actually thinking about getting a Turbo X, a Timber X, just because of the hover capability of it as a high wing. I think that's intriguing to me. I think that's pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll see what else I get this year. I'll be pretty satisfied if that's all I did for this thing. So yeah, Cole Webb brought in his tires to the store the other day. So he's in the chat, and he said what he did. He put PB Blaster on him, which is what we use for tire sauce the majority of the time. But then he put it in a bag, and then he had the bag sit for a while. And if you do that, that's bad news, because then they swell up, and they swell up like a tick. You definitely don't want that. So Tom Baker used to fly a G-Shark with a 32cc engine. That's crazy. Just got an 8-scale buggy and got everything but a servo. What is a good servo? RC Bros, that's a very subjective question. But I, right now at this point in time, always think that if you go cheap, you're going to buy more than once. So, and because it's an 8-scale, you still risk buying more than once. But I would say a ProTech 155T for steering is really good. A Savix 22, I can't remember the number. Maybe a 2210, 2211. It's like $100 servo, and they're pretty good. Basically, look for any servo that has, say, about 300 or more ounces of torque, and you want a speed somewhere of like 0.08 to 0.13, maybe. Anything more than that, anything slower, not good for steering at all. and anything faster than that, and a lot of people can't handle it. They got to turn down the sensitivity anyways. Also, the faster a servo is, the less torque it usually has. So, but I'm running 155Ts in both of Emerson's cars, and for steering, his Nitro's got a 155S for throttle, and yeah, haven't gone wrong since. And last year we were running that one of those big Savic servos. It's like 22 something, and they're $100. Pretty good value. The 155s are like $139.99. But beyond those two, I'd say anything over 300 ounces of torque that's got a decent speed rating, you're going to be fine. You know, I haven't had good luck with any of the cheap Amazon brands, so I would say at least something, whether it be, you know, Spectrum, ProTech, Savics, MKS, something like that, you're going to be in good shape. Riley had a plane. His dad owns a shop in Topeka. I'm surprised he doesn't fly. Let's see. I have looked at a Carbon Cub, the big one. I'm thinking the big red and white one. I don't know. I've always wanted a plane like an Extra 300, like a Sig 4-star 40 was always a plane that I had my eye on. Real sporty, you know, fun plane. What's another one? Like a Cap 32. I always thought about that. That RV8 is a cool looking plane. Stuff like that. I always wanted to fly, and then honestly just started flying like 3 years ago, and it took me a while to get the courage, because when I first started working at Hobbytown in 2004, I went out to the field on trainer night, and I actually almost lost one of their planes. Like, I got it so far away that the guy couldn't even tell which way it was flying. He was trying to get it back. And I was too chicken to go do it again. So, hey, Alex, RC career question. In any ever had a trash talker on the stands? Yes, I have, many times. Would you like to follow up with that question? There's always somebody that's got a mouth, dude, and it's just it's one of those things where you got to just kind of ignore it. It's kind of like having a bag of rocks sitting right next to you, crashing down. You got to keep it. You got to learn to focus all that stuff out of there. Now, if you, you know, if they hack you right on the track more than once, and they're doing it intentionally, well, then, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So. How is a good way for Alex to transition from the Senton to a two-wheel drive? If I remove the drive shaft from the Senton, will that help him learn? No, I don't think so. I honestly, you should just let it. So you got a stock motor that's slow enough. If you want to, you could limit the throttle on a radio a little bit if you wanted to, but I would say, honestly, I would just let him drive it, dude. Putting a Senton in two-wheel drive ain't gonna help you, because it's totally different vehicle. It's too heavy. It would have a massive understeer, so he wouldn't learn a whole lot about driving a two-wheel drive to begin with. I think you just let him go. I think you just let him drive it. I don't really think there's no worried about transition. You know, look at John's kid. I mean, you know, caught on pretty quick, and he was running a Bandit, I think, before that, and before that, I think it was a Slash. So, RC Bros wants to know: am I going to the Nats this year in Minnesota? Is that the carpet one? The carpet. Yeah, the carpet one. Son is a trash talker. So, you guys want to hear trash talking. Here's the thing. There's a couple people that still race nowadays that might one day watch this show, and I don't necessarily want to mention them by name. But Emerson one time in 2017, we went on vacation to California. It was an RC vacation. We took all of our stuff with us. I think we raced at OCRC 3 times that week, and Emerson was getting ran into by this one car, and I had already gotten shushed for cheering Emerson on, so I had to like sit there like this and try to keep my mouth shut. And this was when Emerson was short too. So, but this car hit him like 2 or 3 times, and then Emerson came up, caught him, and just blasted him, and then drove away. And I heard Emerson go, "Karma," and I was like, "Oh no!" Like, dude, that was pretty funny. So boy, there's a lot on here right now. So RC Bros, to answer your question, I'm not sure yet. I'm definitely going to race carpet again this coming up winter. Our dirt season ends October 2nd with regionals, and then we go right into carpet. So I believe that race, I think, is the end of October, and so it kind of leaves me only a couple weeks to decide if that's what I want to do. It's something I think about. I'm not a huge carpet off-road fan, so traveling to a carpet race is kind of not high on my list of things to do. But if I get enough local guys to go, like Will went that one year, you know, it could be fun. I'd have to think about it. Last year I went to the Masters of Dirt, which was I believe the same weekend. So, yeah, we'll see. Cole, any stories of the trash talking? So we're gonna go back to that real fast. So, there was this one race in Des Moines I went to one year, and I believe I TQ'd the race. This was right before like Tom Rindernet got untouchable, and Alex was untouchable. Mason Fuller was getting really fast. I think it was like 2016, maybe 16 or 17, something like that. Anyways, I had TQ'd and I crashed a course because that's what I do. And I was working my way back up through the field, and this other person there was a switchback 180, and this other person had, I think it was like for 5th place. He had blown the first corner, and I waited. Then he blew the next corner, and I held it tight, and he decided that he was going to gun it, even though I had position on him. This is what you young people need to learn, is when you're beat, you're beat. Anyways, we were side by side and over this triple, and we connected in midair over the triple. Now, if in that situation, I believed I was in the right, I had already followed him enough to have this dude blow like 3 in a row. And I was in front of him over this triple, and we touched. Well, I ended up landing on my wheels. He did not. After the race, I was like, "Man, sorry, dude," and this dude like laid into me, and we had a history a couple of years before of basically him and this other guy having basically team orders to pretty much ruin me, because I was running the wrong car and I was running the wrong equipment, and this other team had really wanted to get the W in this class no matter what. And so I got hacked on pretty good a couple of years earlier by the same person. And so I kind of was like, well, I mean, what goes around comes around, with a couple cuss words in there. And then he followed with a couple cuss words. And then I told him, he better keep his mouth shut, and or I'm going to throw him down the stairs. And that was probably like the last time that I'd ever had a confrontation with anybody, because I actually felt really bad about it afterwards. Kind of, but really. So I don't know. That was probably the last time I got real heated with anybody. And that same person, the earlier in the day, and this is what made me not really worry about things too much, because we were on the same team at that point, supposedly, right? And I'm down there just hanging out in the pits, watching racing and stuff. And he's right. We're watching Stock Truck B Main or something like that. And this dude's like, man, these guys, this class is so boring. These guys suck so bad. It's just hard to watch, right? And I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, man, we're on the same race team right now. And this person that's standing next to me is basically saying that all these people that pay for their stuff, unlike us, or at least me, I'm not sure about his status on the team, but I'm like, this person thinks that all these people are stupid. And I lost all respect for that person. Any little respect that I had was gone at that moment in time. And so I really didn't worry that much about what was said on the driver's stand after that. And I have never seen that person again, as a matter of fact, at a race, nor would I want to, actually. So, but that's one. There was a, okay, I'll tell you this one. I'll tell you this one because he's dead, so he can't get mad at me. So there's a buddy of mine. Hold on. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but this car right there, okay, that's his body. This buddy of mine's body, okay? And we became friends. He passed away almost, 11 years ago now. It's crazy. And real shocker, too. He had a heart attack, so really sad. It's too bad he's not around, because I think this person used to be known as a grumpy person, and then I think as he got older, he got progressively not as grumpy, or at least in more of like a jovial type of grumpy, not a mean grumpy. But we were at this race in 1995 called the Snowball Cup at Exarban here in Omaha. And I had my LXT, that truck right there, okay, and my LXT, and I was qualified third. He was qualified second. Brian Cox was actually qualified first, and he kicked our butts. But somebody at the track, I can't remember who it was, bet me like $5 to take him out, right? To run into him. And I was like, I don't want anything to do with that. So I actually turned down the bet, but somehow during one of the races, we ended up running into each other anyways. And after the race, as we're coming off the stand, he's like, you little son of a blankety blank, you hit me again, you see what happens. And I was like 15. And so I was shocked, because I was like, and I knew this person. So I was like, oh, dang it. Now I'm getting yelled at by this guy again. And I just turned to him and I was like, man, this is what I said, clear as day. This is how not cool I was, by the way. I was like, man, get out of my face. That's all I said. And my mom was there, and my mom's a big, like 300-pound, 6'1" woman, right? And she heard what was going on. And as I'm coming off, this guy's coming off the stand, she's like at the bottom going, what did you say to my son? And got in his face. And I was like, oh no, like, stop, whatever's going on, just stop. I don't want any of it. And those were the good old days. That was a good one. I can't really remember too much crap talking on the stand, though. I'm usually pretty quiet. on the driver's stand unless I'm pissed at myself. Then I'll call myself stupid or idiot or something. But I'll never. You won't see me interact with people on the driver's stand. Usually while the race is going on. I can't even remember a time when I've done that. Actually, I take that back. But this was when I was a jerk. So I was at an on-road race once, and I got taken out by a lapper. And I don't think it was on purpose, but I do remember letting somebody have it on that time. But that's back when I was kind of a jerk face. I don't think I'm a jerk face anymore. Yeah, I'm sure Riley's gearing up for that J Concepts race at Thunder Road. That track looks great. I know carpet's kind of one of his things for sure. Butch is on here. God, I can't remember Butch's last name. Butch was there at a couple of those. Pretty sure Butch was there the first time I ever actually beat Dennis straight up. But he nosed-dove a balsa Texan into a cornfield. Yeah, balsa, dude. I'm not in a hurry to get a balsa plane because if something like this happens on one of those, I'm toast. Jackson Anderson just called me a dill. That's pretty funny. TJ's a medium trash talker. I guess I never hear it. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever been in one of TJ's heats, even on like a Friday night. I don't ever remember that. But I think he stands down on the other side than I do too. That's pretty funny. Oh no. In Sioux City, they had a fight at the last race of the Winter Series. Yeah. That RC Glock is on here. That's pretty cool. I hope that we had a little situation the last run of the Summer Series, and it wasn't really that bad, but it was more than we've had in a long time. And that actually bothered me quite a bit because I've been trying to cultivate a race scene that where we don't have that, or if we do, I don't know about it. And unfortunately, it didn't quite happen. Luckily, most of the kids were gone. I think it was the end of the night, so I think all the PlexBet kids and stuff and families were gone, and it wasn't even that bad. It's not like there was anybody fighting or anything. There was just words. It did bother me though, quite a bit. Jake says he loves bantering with some of the guys like TJ on the driver's stand. That's funny. I don't think there's any trash talkers in the mod guys. We're pretty quiet up there, really, unless somebody gets hit by somebody. Then you might hear something, but usually there's not really any trash talking. You'll hear me laugh sometimes if we're having a good race. When are we racing next and flying? So I'm so this weekend, tomorrow night's Family Friday off road, and then Saturday's Saturday Speed off road, and I'm actually running town. So, the old school original race director will be running things tomorrow night, and then again on Saturday, and then flying. I don't know. I'll probably wait for parts to get this in because honestly, my other planes are kind of boring. I've got a Habu STS trainer jet, and that thing is boring as shit. Like it's so slow. I knew it was a trainer jet, and again, Horizon sent it to us to try, and it's perfect. It's a perfect beginner plane. I would even be comfortable selling that to a straight out of the box beginner, because that plane is so easy to fly and so slow that I would feel totally comfortable with it. But that being said, it's not for me. It's way too slow. And then my Ultimate needs some work too, and I've been putting it off, and now I'm thinking that since I did that, it's probably a good time for me to maybe balance the prop or get a new prop. Jackson Anderson said, wasn't there a fight or something this past Techno Series or the year before? Somebody's finger got cut. There was no fight. I remember that. I think it was Reigns. KP. It was KP Reigns that cut his finger. And there wasn't a fight. That happens sometimes, you know. Actually, the Techno Series has been pretty. The Techno Series is always one that I kind of worried about, to be honest with you, just because it's more of an adult crowd, and the Techno Series has been pretty chill the last couple of years as well. It's been really nice. It's a far cry from what there used to be. All the hot heads that used to race 8 scale at those events don't really race around here anymore. So it's actually been really calm and very. I mean, it's just, the last couple of Techno Series races have just been very straightforward. Get through the day. Everybody. 47 Cat. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It was Dennis Johnson. It's crazy because we became pretty good friends. You know, the whole Omaha RC crowd kind of started to thin out at some point, and those of us that stuck with it, we kind of buddied a little bit, you know. What am I missing here? Sunday is on road. I forgot about that. I don't think who gets pissed the most in Ramad? Riley does. New username. I want to race so bad, but last time I tried, I couldn't get any pointers to help keep me on the track. Well, geez, if you're at the HobbyPlex, I would say try again, because that's been kind of the thing lately. Is it's pretty easy for people to find help, I guess. Everybody's usually pretty awesome about that. Peter Renault, do turnbuckles loosen on their own? One of mine was long for no good reason. Yeah, kind of. Sometimes it kind of depends on what you hit and how hard. Usually, if one pops off during a race, replace it. A lot of people don't, and that's why they continue to pop off ball cups all the time too. Yeah, Jake Conrad, I agree. Fridays and Saturdays. Even the top guys like Will and those guys will you know, a lot of times they'll stop what they're doing just to make sure that you're getting set up right. So Will just tried to call me again. We'll see if we can get him on here. What else do we got? Yeah, John Haas is usually there on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Cole Webb, who's running the races this weekend? This guy, Friday and Saturday. Jackson. So yeah, it's funny. We had, dude, we've got 45 pairs of ellipses right now. And the problem is that a lot of our guys don't pull from overstock. And so it looks like there's none on the shelf when there's a pile of gold ellipses behind the shelf. So Joel Florkey, how can I get into RC racing? You'd show up. All you got to do is at the Plex at least buy a off-road car of some sort and come out on a Friday night or a Saturday and enter Plex spec if you're comfortable with that. But the main thing is you actually got to show up. I see too many people that they'll be interested in off-road racing and then or any of our racing, but then they don't come out for the race days. They just they say they need practice or they need to do that. And I try to tell everybody, I'm like, no, you don't. All you got to do is show up, enter the race for $5 and just start going with the flow. And that's the easiest way to get into it. Gold 4-wheel drive fronts, I don't think we have at the moment. We only had 12 pairs, and I think they're all gone. I think we still have some silvers left. Jay Conrad says, you might be interested in JRX2. I'm thinking about selling. Gosh darn it. I don't need any more cars, but if it's a JRX2, probably bring it with you sometime. I'll look at it. Darn it. Oh, man. Because that is missing from my collection, an actual legit JRX2. Every JRX2 that's came into the HobbyPlex that I've tried to buy, they've turned me down. And there's been some doozies. There was this one pristine JRX2, 5-link. It had a Joel Johnson motor, Trinity battery, and the proper wheels and tires, and the guy would not sell it to me at all, and I was upset because I wanted to match my JRX-T and my JRX Pro, and then over here I got my low C cars. It would make me really happy. Jason Rona was kind of like hinting that he might have a double X for sale, which I don't need a double X, but if Jason has it, it's probably in like mint condition. So I'd probably think about that one too. I'm a hoarder. I'm an RC hoarder. I should change the show name to RC Hoarder unless it's already taken. Because I got this rear motor 22 that I just got, and it's not I don't know. I mean, I guess, but look at this. I don't know if I showed you guys that last week, but it's got the J Concepts honeycomb motor mount and the J Concepts aluminum wing mount, and it's got the carbon fiber with J Concepts thumb screws, and it's like brand new. The diff's in good shape. The shocks are perfect. You know, if they ever held regionals outside again, I might run this car because this is a 2.0. And if you put a little weight here and here beside the battery, and then I think 1.6 pistons all the way around with 32 weight oil, this thing was mint. This thing was money back in the day. But I was kind of bummed out because I couldn't find my original sleek original 22 bodies. I only had the cab forward ones. And to be honest with you, now that it's been a while since I pulled this body out. This body's hideous. Like, I mean, you can make fun of the techno electric truggy all day long. This this does not look good. Okay. It's functional, right? Because it had this big front end on it, but this body's yucky. We probably thought it looked super rad too, 6 years ago. Anyways. What else do we got going on? I honestly don't have anything to do now that I figured out exactly what's wrong with my plane. So my next project is, I've probably been telling you guys this now for a while, but I have this this regulator chassis up here for my monster truck. I'm going to build a Clodbuster regulator chassis. But I got to get some time. That's been kind of the problem the last couple of weeks. And it's about to get worse because next Monday and Tuesday, I'll be working on the track. So Cole Webb wants to know if I'm racing Saturday. I am. My car's ready to go. In fact, I rebuilt the shocks recently and cut out a new wing. I think I need to I might rebuild the diff just so I don't have to do it next week, just so it's ready to go. But yeah, we're racing Mod 2 wheel. We'll see. I'm due for a club race win, man. It's been a while. I got to have Tom and Alex not show up, though, and then maybe I have a shot. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The only changes I'm doing this round are we have that diagonal tabletop that has been there since the Techno series. Actually, since the J Concepts race, that big pile of dirt's been there. So it's been used a couple different times. We're going to do something with all that dirt. And I'm thinking about some sort of like option line somehow. Not really sure how I'm going to make it work just yet, but I'll have it figured out by Monday night. So it'll be a Monday night all day endeavor, and then it'll be ready to go for practice on Wednesday. So the track will be open Monday, and then I'll come in Monday night. Now that it's starting to get hot out, it's easier to do. All day Tuesday is going to suck. It's going to be sweaty. So, RC Bros, good question. Do we race e-buggy on Saturdays? Not usually. I would like to, but it does seem that the electric 8-scale turnout, if we get one, is usually on Fridays. But that being said, if we get a handful of e-buggies on a Saturday, I will be more than happy to let you guys have a class of your own. I've been thinking about bringing mine out, but it's set up now for outdoor. It's set up for kind of like kind of loose. It's a little softer than what I normally run, so it's set up for an outdoor style track. So I kind of don't want to change it back just yet. So plus I don't think I have any tires. I think J Concept still doesn't have any gold ellipses in stock. So that actually might be a big reason why we haven't had any e-buggies, because there's only one brand of tires right now that seems to be in stock, and that's Proline Positrons. A 5-pack with a triple double. So I don't have my sheet. So I actually have this all drawn out. I've actually got all the changes that I plan on doing drawn out from month to month. So I was going to leave round 1 the same way it was for the Pro Tech race, a small change for round 2, a bigger change for round 3, a very small change for round 4, and then a change for round 5, and then a change for round 6. and then you get ready for the Techno Series, which is going to be a massive change. But basically, all I'm going to do this round is just that diagonal tabletop. I'm going to try to use that dirt to create something in that same area. And then the next round, when you see, how do I describe this? So right now you go over that big tabletop and you go towards the wall, and then you take kind of a hard right and go on the back wall jumps, right? So what I'm planning on doing is, after whatever I build, you go towards the wall, you're actually going to 180 and come back this way. So the triple that's there is actually going to probably get easier. But there's going to be something before the triple. So it's either going to be like a little huckabuck, or maybe a roller or something. And then after that, it'll come up, down, and then around. So we'll see exactly what happens when we get there, but that's kind of the plan. Are two-wheel drive fronts the same width as four-wheel drive fronts? I saw someone that said slim. I thought two drives. So the J Concepts tires are really weird. They're very similar in size, but if you put a two-wheel drive tire on a four-wheel drive rim, the two-wheel drive tire will like be spread out a little bit more, so the overall diameter will be a little bit smaller. It gets stretched out. The four-wheel drive front are just a smidgen wider. But if you're in a pinch, like if they don't have any gold fronts, right? I've seen guys use the two-wheel drive fronts and just kind of live with that part of it. So, but I think four-wheel drive, I think positrons are a little bit slimmer. I know electrons are definitely slimmer on the Proline side of things, and I know the AKA two-wheel drive fronts are definitely slimmer than the four-wheel drive fronts. RC Bros, can one of you guys help me set mine up, because I've only raced on carpet? Yeah, absolutely. If you mean e-buggy, usually on the clay indoor track, you go a little bit stiffer on the oil, a little bit smaller piston, a little bit more droop, believe it or not, than the outdoor tracks usually, and then you can kind of get away with heavier diff fluids. Usually on the outdoor tracks, you're a little softer, with a little less rear droop usually, and a lot lighter on the diff fluids, just because of the need for grip. So that's a good starting idea of where to be. What else we got? I'm probably going to bail here in a few minutes. I don't know. I don't know about that tail. Might have to reinforce it too. Oh yeah, on carpet, the fronts are definitely carpet tires are definitely way slimmer than four-wheel drives, between the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Cole, I do run a 6.5 in my two-wheel drive. I do. I was running a 7.0, and that motor took a crap, and I didn't feel like buying a motor. And so I had a 5.5 and a 6.5, and the 5.5 I'm using in my truggy, my mini truggy, and a 6.5 in it. And I've actually been okay with it. I thought it was too much motor, but you can always just turn it down on the radio, right? So RC Bros, thank you for watching, man. We appreciate it. Kind of a fun group tonight in the chat. It's pretty awesome. So yeah. So all right. Well, I got to get up early tomorrow, go on a bike ride, and then get to the track and throw some water on it and get it ready for Friday night racing. So my plane is actually not in as bad of a shape as I thought it was going to be. So I would call that a success for tonight. I'm going to get on Fast Serve and get Horizon Hobby to ship the store a couple pieces, and then I'll get this thing put back together and get back out to the field. So that's what I got. I'm going to go away. Jackson, I have no idea what kind of tires they use down there. You'll have to call and ask. Or who's lives down there now? Didn't Wiggins just move to Dallas? Ask Wiggins. Anyways, I'm leaving. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Adios.